Thanks for joining us here at Enjoy the View Travel, and welcome to the channel. This week's View on Travel Season 2 starts now. All right, let's talk travel in 2025. So Enjoy the View Travel has a couple of trips that are already planned. I am going to be cruising on Celebrity's newest ship that just launched last year, the Celebrity Ascent. I'll be on that in March for my spring break. My mom's going to go along with me. So we're super excited to explore this ship and bring what it has to offer to you. If you're in my VIP group, I shared a great tour from Celebrity on this ship, so you could kind of get an idea of what we're going to be walking into and what the ship has to offer. I have already started planning my recording days, and so I'm going to be doing a lot more recording this year than I did last year. And so it's not going to just be photos and me talking about photos. So we're going to bring you a lot of live action things, and I hope that can bring you a better experience. We'll still include some photos, but I hope it brings it more personal experience and more live experience. So we'll see how it goes. Please give me grace as I navigate this, because this is new for me. My recording has gotten better, but yes. So in October, we're going on our big family cruise, and we'll be on the Enchanted Princess again. So this time we're going to New England and Canada, and we are super pumped and excited about this. I've never seen the Statue of Liberty in person, and we get to sail by it. Very cool. So excited. We've already started thinking about 2026 as well, and are in the planning stages of that. If you were on my VIP group, you saw the poll that we had for where we should travel next, and the winner was train a trip across the U.S. That's going to be super exciting. So we're starting to look into that and kind of pick out where we want to go, when we want to go, that kind of thing. So stay tuned. I'm sure I will be updating you on our planning for 2026 throughout the year. And there may be some smaller trips in 2025 to discuss too. So this is starting to become a trend that I would like to see go away. But as you all know, the wildfires out in California that continue to burn, there's just so much loss out there, including, countless homes and businesses, but also lives that have been lost. So let's just continue to pray for our neighbors out west in California as they navigate the cleanup process, the rebuilding process. There's a lot of areas that are travel destinations that have also, been compromised. And so those places are going to need time to rebuild and time to regroup. Eventually travel back out there will be amazing again. But please give grace. When the time is right to continue travel out to California, that we do that and help our neighbors in California. So the wildfires out in California are not the only thing that are causing travel delays. The snowy and icy weather across much of the U.S. has caused some major travel delays over the past couple of weeks. So this is your friendly reminder from your friendly travel advisor that make sure you have your alerts set from your airline to your phone so that you can get notifications of any delays or cancellations, and that's going to help you better plan. Also, please remember that the people cannot change the weather. Okay. So they are doing the best that they can do. There's only so much they can do. So please make sure that you are being kind to them. I know it's frustrating when you have travel delays and cancellations and you need to get to a destination. I understand that. But please make sure that you are being kind and you are practicing patience, and that you're doing the best that you can and that they are doing the best that they can. All right, so scary moments on this Delta Airline flight out of Atlanta. This is when they got their first round of snow. They did have to abort the flight because of an engine fire. So luckily, that was found out before they lifted off. They did have to use the slides for evacuation. They took a bus back to the terminal. There were 4 injured, and one of those was taken to the hospital. Please make sure that at the beginning of the flight, when your steward and stewardesses are giving you the directions for safety, should something happen, that you are paying attention, or you are reading that pamphlet that's behind, in the seat pocket, so that you do know what to do in the case of an emergency. In this case, everybody looks like they followed the rules and that they were given quickly, and everybody got off safely. So make sure you are doing that. And I'm glad that nobody was seriously injured. I did not hear on the person that was taken to the hospital. I didn't hear anything else about that person, but I'm assuming it was not major injuries, because we didn't hear about that either. So I'm glad everybody was okay, and they were able to get off safely. All right, so we often talk about ocean cruising because that's pretty much what I do. We've also talked about some river cruising in Europe, but we haven't talked a great deal about river cruising right here in the United States. And so I want to tell you about American Cruise Line, and they offer a variety of river cruises right here in the U.S. So there are several different options that you can choose. The Mississippi River is a very popular one. They are also on the Hudson River in the New England area, Columbia and Snake Rivers. So there's really a lot of different options. So these ships they're much smaller. It has a more intimate feel to it. It's a lot smoother sailing because you don't have any of the ocean waves or anything. They have 2 new ships that are coming out in 2025. So if you will visit enjoytheviewtravel.com, and you can contact me for more information about American cruise lines, and then river cruising in general. All right, so we have talked about norovirus before, and there were more outbreaks last year than we've had in probably a decade on cruise ships. So there were 18 outbreaks in 2024, and an outbreak is classified when 3% of the ship's crew and guests report symptoms to the medical staff. That is what is classified as an outbreak. So the only reason that you hear about outbreaks on cruise ships is because they are the only ones who are required to report this to the CDC. So if it is a land-based business like a hotel or a water park or an amusement park, they do not have to do that. So there's an easy way to help with this, and that is to wash your hands. Washy. There are hand washing stations on all of the cruise ships now. There are hand sanitizer stations as well. I would recommend the hand washing over the hand sanitizer if you can, but in a pinch, hand sanitizer will work wonders. It's not going to prevent it completely, but it can help with it. So make sure that you are doing that. You always have the possibility of getting a norovirus from anywhere. You can pick it up at the grocery store. You can pick it up at your local restaurant, at any hotel. You can get it literally anywhere, on the airplane. So, I mean, it's not just a cruise ship illness. So please do not let the possibility of you getting norovirus keep you from cruising. Make sure that you're doing all the things that you can. You are washing your hands. Take some medications with you that you might need to use if you were to get this to help you get over it quicker. And so just prepare and plan for that. And remember, washy. If you like our content that we are doing, please like and share our videos to help grow our channel. It helps us a lot. And also make sure you subscribe, and that way you don't miss our next episodes. All right, so last year in season 1 of This Week's Speed on Travel, we started talking about new travel documents that you would need in 2025. And some of those have already started. So I wanted to go over these again so that you knew what to expect for 2025. So if you're going to be traveling to the UK, you're going to need an ETA. It costs you around £10. Currently, that conversion rate is about $12.21 in US currency. It is valid for 2 years, and the current processing time, they say, is 3 business days. It did start on January 8th, so since it just started, you may have a slight delay in processing, just because I figure a lot of people waited last minute to do this. So also, Real ID starts this year. A Real ID is going to be needed to fly in the U.S. starting on May 7th. Now, if you have a passport, your passport will work in place of the Real ID. And also, the ETIAS for the permit for travel in Europe is expected to start in mid-2025. So it will be linked to your passport, and it's going to be good for 3 years or until your passport expires. So if you are going to be traveling to the UK, Europe, or flying in the US after May 7th, then you have a little bit of homework that you need to do beforehand, and to make sure that you can get to your destinations before your travel. All right, quick update for the ski patroller strike. That ended. It lasted for about 13 days, and then both sides were able to come to an agreement. So ski season is on, and the ski patrollers are there. So that's going to add an element of safety for that. So ski on, friends. All right, we're to our travel deal of the week. So we are going to kick off summer travel right with this. This is a 3-night Mexico cruise out of Los Angeles. So it's over on the West Coast, with Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. It is leaving on June 3rd. It is $735.36 for 2 people. It is an interior room with a virtual balcony. If you do prefer an actual ocean view balcony, they start at $979.36 for 2 people. Those prices do include your taxes, your fees, and your port expenses. They do not, however, include gratuities. Those would be extra. If you would like more information on this cruise or another cruise, please visit enjoytheviewtravel.com for additional details. And as always, pricing is subject to change until it is booked. All right, travel tip of the week. I get asked a lot, short cruises versus long cruises. And how do you know what the length of cruise is right for you? Well, there are actually a lot of factors that play into that decision. So you have 3 and 4 night cruises. That's what is considered a shorter cruise. And if you've never cruised before, then that might be the right length of cruise for you to determine if you like cruising and then want to take a longer cruise. So some people refer to those cruises as weekend cruises or party cruises. So keep that in mind when you are deciding if you're wanting a more party atmosphere or more laid back atmosphere. It might be a little bit different for a shorter cruise versus a longer cruise. Okay, so then, for me, a 3 to 4 night cruise, it's just enough to make you mad, because you basically get on, unpack, and it's time to pack back up and go home again. So I do not prefer a shorter cruise. I will take a shorter cruise, but a 5 to 7 night cruise to me is just right. 7-night cruises are actually the most popular, and it is plenty of time to enjoy the ship, the ports of call, and time to relax. You usually have some sea days on there. So an 8+ night cruise, well, I unfortunately have not been able to experience that yet, so I can't really say for sure, but I can't imagine that I I wouldn't love it. I just feel like it would be great. Any length cruise, I will go on any length cruise, don't get me wrong. So there's really 3 main things that you need to think about to determine the length of cruise that you need or want to go on. Okay, your schedule, the destinations that you would like to visit, and your budget. The more flexible you are with these 3 things, then that is the best chance of you being able to get the perfect cruise for you, and the perfect length cruise. So if you have any questions about cruising, the length of cruises or anything else with cruises, please feel free to message me, and we can chat about it, and I can kind of help you decide what you'd like to do. And I'd love to help you plan your next cruise as well. So that is all for this week's View on Travel. Thank you for joining us. Stay warm out there. Safe travels if you are traveling this next week. And until next time, enjoy the view. Thank you for watching this week's View on Travel. Be sure to visit us at enjoytheviewtravel.com. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss our next episode.